Right guys, let's start a new one. Let's start a new bike. I nearly forgot to get camera out, to be honest with you. I nearly cracked on with these pipes then without getting camera out. And basically what it is, I'm away for the weekend again. Going on a stag do this time, but we're going back to Wales, back to the same place we were 2 weeks ago. These are all like a sync date wise, but yeah, we went away Easter weekend to Bespoke, and I went me and girlfriend, and then now I've just picked my brother up from France, from Manchester airport. We're going on my cousin's stag do back to Bespoke, like 3 hours drive away. So yeah, I'm packing up for the weekend. So what I thought I'd do before I pack up was just get something done, because I'm not here again for 3 days. So I thought I need to get cracking on. So I was just about to bend them. I just thought I'll just bend them, and then when I come back in on Monday, they're there, done. And then I'm on with it. I've done them before, so it's an easiest job. There's no working out to do, which is grand. Normally that's like 2 days, 3 days worth of job is just working it out. Whereas this one, I've done one before, so the customer's come in, he's seen the one I've done before, said, I want a set of them, can you make me a set? And I said, well, I've actually still got the sample pipes left over from that. So if I just copy the samples, the samples, I didn't put them on the other bike because they weren't bang on right. They could have been slightly better. But I've tried these on, the guys were happy with them, so we're just going to go with them, just copy them. So that will be plan. I'll show you what it is. It's a big beamer, a big old beamer. You get to see what bike's next in queue there as well. So we're doing that, and that's going to get turned into a 6-day trials bike. So it wants a set of high levels putting on it, and you whip the other pipe from opposite side over to this side and run that pipe round like that. Big old bike to be 6-day trialling, but they did. I've seen a lot of pictures of them. There's one knocking around on Facebook at the moment. It's a Metzler advert for Metzler tyres. So if you want to search Metzler tyres, you'll see 2 of these bikes on the start line. I could possibly try and find that and put it in, but you get done for copywriting on YouTube. So that's me pipes. This one's me right hand pipe, just bog standard, and then that's me crossover pipe. And what they'll end up doing, they'll finish like shotgunned outside here. So they're a bit tricky to do. They want sand bending, them 2 top ones, and this one wants... I could either bend that on tube bender, but I'd have to cut a bit out at the middle here and join it together, or what I've done there, bent that one on tube bender and then sand bent that and joined it together. Yeah, so that's my plan. So I'm going to copy them 3 pipes, and then we're going to put them on that bike. So I just thought I'd just give you a quick run through of that before, like I say, before I bend these pipes and pack up and go home. I'm literally just going to whip them out. I'm not going to bother filming it. I'm just going to get them done, like I say, and then get packed up, go home, sort my stuff out. So yeah, I'm not going to mess about with camera this time. So like I say, you've all seen sand bending. Some guy just commented yesterday saying he's not here to copy anything or learn anything. He just wants to hear about the story. So I'm going to try and include a bit more story in next videos that's coming up. Not much to tell you about this, but like I say, yeah, this will be my second one of these 6-day trials bikes, and I've actually got another one over here it's a long-term queue. It's the guy that does my MOTs. He's mad about them, he races them. So he's lent me that. And said, if anybody else wants one, use that. And it's just a set of bust-up casings and an old frame of his. So he's lent me that, and he actually wanted me to make a set of pipes on it, but one of them, I said, oh, it'll be a couple of months. And he said, well, I've got a race next week, I'll just knock some up myself. So he's made some, now he's not in no rush at all, so that'll probably just sit there for a while. But if anybody wants any, yeah, I've got that, and I can make pipes, any form of pipes on that, just using them 2 barrels and the casing and the frame. But it's a lot better to have them like this with wheels on. And then I can get the level set nicely, run them all back nice. So yeah, that's what it's going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep some pipes, pack them with sand, put that bending up mandrel bender, just whip that out, pack the other 2 with sand, bend them, and when I turn camera back on, hopefully we'll have that, but yeah, another set of them. So it'll be like, boom, magic, another set of them appears on floor. And yeah, and I'll stick my battery back on charge because it's running low once again. So yeah, that's me for now. I'll probably try and keep this nice and short. When I need to suss out silencer with the guy, but yeah, that's going to be the biggest issue about this bike, is sussing out the silencer. He wants it slightly different from the last one I did. But to get the pipes across the engine, we're doing them exactly the same. So it's dead bog standard, run of the mill, easy peasy, done it before. I'm going to crack on, and I'll speak to you soon. Right guys, let's get cracking. I don't know where I am. Do not know where I am. I don't know what day it was when I left here. Could have been Thursday. I know I did a quick little update before I left, but yeah, I've been away on a stag do, and I'm still alive, so I'm proud of that. What have I done? I think I was talking about, I've been and picked Tommy up, didn't I? Yeah, picked Tommy up on Wednesday, something like that. My brother from France lives up in Morzine. If you're into your skiing and your mountain biking, that's what he does mountain biking up in Morzine. Yeah, went and picked him up. Went down to Bespoke again for another weekend. That might have featured in some of my videos 2 weeks ago. Battery's flashing again, so I need to sort that out. But I've done these pipes. So Tommy's been here since Wednesday. He's gone back at dinner time today. It's Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday today. It's been a long, messy weekend. But yeah, I managed to do some pipes in that time. So yeah, I've been pretty much drunk for the last 3-4 days or something. I barely know what day it is, but yeah, man, I come in today and I'm surprised I've done a batch of pipes, as well as been on a stag do to Wales for 3 days, and yeah, I'm surprised. So let's have a look. I know the last thing I said was I'll have them on floor, so that's what I've done today. I've just come in, I've arranged them on floor. I did a little bit yesterday afternoon before we went back to the pub to see Tommy's mates before he went back away again. So yeah, did a little bit, come back in this morning, checked them. They look good, so we'll talk you through them and then we'll put them on bike, yeah? Let's flip that round. I should find some transition or something like that to do a little flip while I'm doing my video. These are them. So that there was my sample pipes. They're marked up as BMW 6-day good, 6-day good, 6-day good. So I've kept them as a sample because I knew I had this bike to do. I think I did them ones about 2 years ago. I knew I had this bike to do, and I've still got that frame to do underneath there, which just a long-term job that. So I've kept them so I can copy them if anybody else wants them, just use them as a guide. I've made these, and they're ever so slightly different. If you look at that one, I've left it a little bit longer there than this one is. That one there has got a slight different bend in it here. And that one, that's got a bigger bend in it, and then my sample pipe is. But they all fit up nicely. They're actually, that's probably a nicer set than that one, because like I say, I'm only using that as a guide. If I just copied them perfectly, then it'd be a good enough set. But these ones have just added a little bit of extra, a twist here and there, a little extra bend here and there. If you look, one of them's there. This one's flat with a little curve up. That one there, look, it dips down and then dips back up again. So I just put like these 3 bends in that. Nice little waggle. This one twists slightly different from that one on the top. So yeah, they're nice. I'll say this one needs trimming down. So that's one I bent yesterday. Them ones I bent before I went to Wales. So if I swap my battery over, I'll get camera on about here somewhere. I'll swap battery over, and I'll have got fitting them. So I'll probably drag the stand along with me, and we'll fit them up, see what they look like. Let me stop video now, and we'll have a look. Right, guys, all set up. I've still only got 2 bars of battery on this one, but I will get some batteries at some point. Order some more pipes and then I can buy more batteries. And they're not cheap neither, they're about 30 quid them batteries. And a memory card's a bit dicky as well, and that cost me another 20-30 quid. 100 quid's worth of stuff I need, I think, to keep YouTube going. I need 100 quid's worth of stuff. So, right, let's have a look. I've got, like I say, these are all my sample pipes, aren't they? So I don't really need them. They don't quite fit either. Like, I used them as a sample set last time. I put them all on the bike. Customer just said, "Cool, can you neaten them up a little bit?" So I neatened them up, and then I kept them. He said, "Do you want me to pay for them?" I think he might have paid for half of them, just for the time I did to make them, not for the actual pipes, if you get me. So he's paid a little bit for them, and then said, "Yeah, just keep them as samples," because he's actually mates with this guy and he's mates with the other guy. So yeah, they're all in a little BMW Offroad club kind of thing. So I've got these. I'll start whacking some in it. Might bring camera a little bit closer. Let's bring camera a little bit closer. That's me, because then I won't have to bend down on my knees. Get that. Look in there. We're going to put this pipe into this barrel and watch it go in line with them. It's flashing red again already, that battery. So what I need is this in there. Like that. It's already looking good, isn't it? Should tend to put it in straight like that, and then give it a knock in with big mallet, and then flip it over, push it in a way to twist it once it's gone all the way in. That just makes it a little bit easier to hammer it in. And then give it a bump down like that. And that's first pipe on. First pipe's on, it's looking good. Let's have a bit of a look. I can't see what you can see. There we go. So yeah, like I say, it's lining up nicely with that badge. It's tucked in, it's touching that post there. It's nice and in line with engine there. You see like the bend don't come out no further than the engine. And then the gaps down there are good. Like the gap towards the engine's good. Just sits a little bit away from this stud here. The only thing that needs sorting out, which I did with the last one, I cut them short here, cut them here short. Get us some focus. And then I put my 2-into-1 junction at a slight angle like that to get it right back of this. Me and customer haven't decided what we're going to do with that bit yet, so I'll just run both pipes up to about there, sort them out afterwards. So yeah, get the next pipe out. I'll get that back on. I'm doing this quick time because I know that battery's going to run out quick. The next one's going to be this, which is the left-hand pipe. Let me flip that camera around. Right, let's go and get it over here. See what you can see. I don't know what you can see. There we go. Yeah, it's in that barrel, I think. That'll give you a better view of what I'm going to do. So I'll walk around to the side and we'll have a look at this one. Basically, same on this one. I've took the rolls out just because I wanted to have a look, the collar off it. I wanted to have a look inside that port because it's a little bit sticky. I just want to clean out with some sandpaper. That's that in. That's that pipe all the way home. It sits up like that. I don't know if you can see that quite. Yeah, you're getting a view there. This is it here, you can see it. And then all it wants to do now is just wants to tuck behind the back of this, which is tricky because it's only got just about enough clearance to get round there. Push that round like that, and yeah, let's have a look again. That's what that's looking like. So that's as tight as you like. It's tucked in. The pipes here will be both in line with each other. You can just see that pipe sticking out there. This one's same. It's not gone much past the front of the casing. They actually look the same from top down. If you look, they're both sticking out about the same there. Similar bend. And this one's just hooking across the top of the casing. It's pointing a little bit too far forward, but what I'm actually going to do, I'm actually going to wrap that right front of that casing and back out. So this is where my next pipe comes into play, which is this my crossover piece. And this one needs to be separate because there's no way that you can get that pipe rolls up, that left-hand pipe. If it rolled up, it'd hit this if this were attached to it. So it needs to be joined there in the middle. You can't actually get that pipe to sit on until I've done a bit of trimming. So if I pull that one, hold on, let's get that one out of the way so it doesn't dink itself. Right, if I pull that one back up out the way, this is the trick with making pipes and fitting pipes, is remembering where that just were then. Keep that in your mind. Then like I say, this is a nice little trick bit of pipe because it's got a dip down. You can see camera strap there, can't you? It's got a dip down, a bend, and then another dip down. Basically, I've done that to fill up this gap here. So when I put that on, it's wrapping around the front of that casing like the other pipe will come in over, joining in about there on that back side. But then this bend dips down. What it's done, it's got rid of this big triangle. There were a big triangle there before I put that bend in, wrap round, up and over. There were a big triangle here, big triangle gap. But because I've flopped that down into it, it's reduced that triangle gap down to that little tiny triangle there. It's just added that extra 10% again. It would have been just totally fine if I'd just gone round there with one straight bend. But yeah, that little undulation's a good word, has made it a lot better. That pipe's sitting, it's a bit too short, and this section of it here is mangled. So what I'll do is chop it off there, weld a piece on to make them both the same length. But at the same time, I have to speak to the customer to suss out what he wants me to do with that, because I'll probably have to chop this bit off here, and then add that much onto the top pipe. My next plan now is to suss out where these two pipes meet, where the pipe coming over from the other side meets this pipe, and then where I'm going to put my collar in that bit of straight bit there. There's not much straight bit there, but I think what I did with the other one was round here where they aren't. I think I put a collar there just in between that gap, and then put a bolt on it, so that it just sat nicely in the middle of them two. You see how the post going up, across, and back down again, if that horn weren't in the way. I just want to make a feature and sit the joint smack bang in the middle of this front of that engine casing there. So that's my next plan for that, is just to do a lot of messing around now. See where that pipe comes over from the other side, how far it gets across the casings, see where this one comes across, see if I trim some off this pipe or if I trim some off the other pipe, which pipe do I put the collar on, because the collar extends it by 2 inch, and this pipe, show you again, take that one off. It's only got a tiny little bit of battery left now before I wait again for the other one. So that pipe there, as I push it down, there's a risk of it clipping that. It's hard to push, you have to grab hold of that frame at the same time. It's actually hard to push. So yeah, so it's coming round now. You see there now that if I put a collar on that, that would have already hit that frame. And then it just drops down below it like that. And then it's snugging in this gap here. It probably just wants to sit up a little tiny. Well, it does, because it's touching frame here. As I push that all the way over, is the engine's probably stopping it more than the frame is. But look how tight that gap is there round that bit. It's tight, and then there's just like a little bit of that bit of daylight you see coming through there, just follows that all the way around that bend. And then I see you've got the same little bit of daylight over there. So I probably just want to pull that out a little tiny bit, like that, yeah, so we get that off the fin. I've got the same bit of daylight then as what I'll have all the way around this back side. So that's nice and nicey tidy tight. Like I say, I just want to suss out where that next pipe would join in now. What I'll probably do is see if I can get you not get much more on there. You only get 10mm before that actually hits. So that pipe does need to be that long. So what I need to do is trim it off the other pipe, I think, because otherwise it messes up what I've just said. I can't leave that. The collar wants to sit in between them two, so the collar wants to sit there and there when it's pushed onto this pipe, which is tricky. She's tricky. That's going to take an hour's worth of working out just to get that collar in the right place, because it's just a case of eking this back. I can put 10mm back on that pipe and it'll take it past the middle, and then I say weld the collar onto the end of that pipe and get it so it slides over that pipe by 20mm, and then suss out what 20mm would be on the other end of it, so that the collar sits smack bang in the middle. And then we're rocking and rolling. So I say that's been about 3 days work, say, just to get them pipes done. That'd be a week's worth of work if I didn't have these to start off with. So by the 2 days worth of planning has been sorted, because I've already got them 3 pipes. Oh, a bit burpy today, that's all them beers. So, let's have a look at the lens, Ben, let's have a look at the lens. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Wait for that orange light to turn green on that battery. Have a fiddle about with these, and it's 20 to 3 now. I'm probably going to stay till 6ish. I've barely been in, so it might even be 7. Yeah, and then get myself out of here. So I've got plenty of time. I'll have that done by the end of the day. I'll have that collar done. That's my next bet. I'll speak to you again once I've done a bit of trimming and once we've got that on. It should look like a set of pipes by the end of the day. And then it's just a case, message the customer. Might take a day or two for him to come back. So put that back away, put it under sheets until we suss out what we're going to do with silencer on it. And how I'm going to join that, because that all needs planning now, because the first bit of pipes, like I say, we just mocked them up off the other ones. The customer had seen them on the other guy's bike, said they were mint. So I said, right, I'll just do that. That's front end sorted. It's only half a job then. I need to put a lot of planning into making the silencer different from the other customers. Just so they're individual. Everyone likes the bikes to be a bit individual, don't they? So that's why I've put, every time I make a set of pipes, I'll just put a little bit more of my personal flair into them, and then each time I do them, that bit of flair is always different. It depends what I feel like at the time. I just think, yeah, put a little tweak in there and it'll look better. So that's the art of making nice custom pipes, is just to do that. Not stick to a rule. Get a feeling from the customer, a feeling from the bike. Just a general feel. I'm like, what era are you going for, and what do you want? Do you want it to look like a 70s one, an 80s one, a 90s one? Or what shape tank have you got? What seat are you putting on? What mud guards are you putting on? Because that gives me an idea of what style of pipes he wants, and then what level as well. Do you just want them factory looking, where the factory, like off the shelf production run pipes, where they just look a bit cheaper and naffer? Or do you want to be full works? Full works is like, it's like MotoGP stuff, where it just looks pristine, made for that bike. Like, they've not got it off another bike and made it fit this bike. It were made on that bike for that rider to his specification. That's basically what a work set of pipes look like. The welding on them and stuff like on a work set of pipes, not brilliant, but it's more the actual design of them. They just look right on the bike. So I'm waffling on a bit, aren't I, again? trying to flipping bring myself back to life. So yeah, I'll crack on. We'll put this battery on charge, put the other battery on charge, and I'll speak to you again soon. Like I say, before the end of the day, we'll have something looking good on that, and then I'll start uploading. It don't matter me talking about past YouTubes. It's actually in the present now, but yeah, I'll put some more of them Grumph videos up. Grumph's still out. He's still here. Guy that's I've done it for, he's gone on holiday for 2 weeks. So that's still looking, looks like a works bike, exactly what I was just saying then. Them pipes look like they were made for that bike, not for a different bike, and been bodged on there. I've got a little bit of an issue where it's still, this has still got a little tight, you can't actually see that. If you just get that to focus in on them two pipes there, it's still got a tiny little bit of flex in that. I think you could probably sort it out with a bit of silicone sealer, gasket cement kind of stuff on that and the two front ones. That'd seal it, stop it from blowing. I think it'd be alright. I think the guy wanted it springing anyway, so springs won't hold it tight, allow it to flex, and it's got a little bit of flex in it, so I think it'll be alright. But I'll speak to the guy once he's back off his holidays, arrange for him to pick that up, get that out of the way, get another bike in, because let's say this one might be on back burner for while we sort that out. Luckily the thing is the pipe that I've been prepping here is 1.5 inches. That bike's going to need 1.5 inch pipes on it, so just carry on. While I've actually got a big piece of tube sat out here. Got that down, dropped it down, thinking, right, if I have to drop off this, I'll just carry on bending 1.5 inch pipe, because while I've got a feel for it, you get a feel for how the diameters bend, how quick they bend, how much heat you need to put into them. So yeah, let's say bye. Struggling. Save our four days up here. So yeah, I'll crack on. I'll speak to you soon. Right, guys. I've got to own up to something. Yeah, yesterday's plan didn't go as well as I'd planned, to be honest with you. So it's one of them where I could have blagged this, skipped over it, not told you a single thing about it, edited up the video, and then you wouldn't have known a single thing about it. But I might as well, that's the whole point of doing these videos, show the good, the bad, the ugly. So that's what I've done. Yeah, it's ugly. It's not ugly, it's bad. And I don't even know if it's bad. It's just one of them. I thought that'd look better, and it's not looked better at all, you know. That little dipping, it's not working. And I don't know if it's the pipe with a dip in it, or if it's the left pipe. So I mucked about with both of them, and now I've ended up trimming too much off both. I could maybe fix it by bodging it, but I'm now thinking, I went home last night, I just thought, nah, leave that, Ben, forget about that. You're just going to end up making it worse, wasting a lot of time. So yeah, I'm back in now today, and I'm going to rebend them, I think, because I couldn't suss out whether it was the left or the right pipe that's bad. So I think just doing them both again had sorted out. It's weird. It's a weird conversation that I'm having in my own head here, because some guys commented on one of my tube bending videos and said, with all that scrapping background, I mustn't be good at doing it. And now I'm looking at a load more pipes for these BMW ones. I've just got loads of them scattered about. But I don't think he understands the process, does he, of making perfect pipes? Like, you can't make perfect pipes on first go. That's why there's not many perfect pipes about, because people that are trying to make money off pipes just give you the first one. Even if you like a big place with a mandrel bender, if you bend 2 of them, you're still only charging for 1 of them, and you need to bend 2 to get them perfect. So they just give you the first one, because the first one's 90% anyway. We all know what we're doing, and we can get one 90% right, just like that. Just like, there you go, 90% right on. Pipe fits your bike. As Grandad said, used to say, still about, but he said if smoke goes in one end, comes out the other end, it's exhausting, isn't it? So that's all you need, is really you just need a pipe to get the smoke out. And that's what's on the majority of bikes, is just a pipe to get the smoke out of. But we're trying to make pipes that look nice, that suit the engine. So that's why I'm sacking this off. It's just quicker to bend another 2 than it is to rectify the 2 I've got. And I'm not into cutting and shutting. There's enough bits there where I could just make another pipe out of the bits I've got, but it'll take just as long to weld it all up as it would to bend another one. So we're not bending. We're not fixing, we're bending, I think. I'll just crack out another 2. The good thing is about that, you get to learn off the shit ones. So to that guy on Facebook, it is what it is, mate. Someone said my welding was shit. It were on one of my megaphones. Basically, like, when you get up to a certain point and enough people have watched your video, I think some idiots start coming in, don't they? So yeah, some people with enough time to comment shit comments, really. So yeah, one guy said that me welding was shite on a megaphone. Well, it might be. Who cares? I'm going to grind it off. Like, I'm not. These videos aren't for morning anyway. So let's sack all the haters off and let's go and have a look at some pipes. I'll show you some of my scrap on floor. I'll spin that round. Here we are. This is how we're looking. They're pipes from the last time I bent these Beamer pipes. I say there's one good set. So on these also, is there a left-hand pipe in there? I've just stuck it in head. Now, yeah, there's one good set in there because that's my sample. So I've got 2 tailpipes there, 3 left pipes and 1 right pipe. So it's obviously the left pipe's the problem, because it took me 3 goes to do it last time. And not like all 3 of them fit. There's nothing wrong with them. Like I say, I could just make them 3 fit. That one there is a good one, I think. And then them 2 there are a little tiny bit off. And then these 2, funny enough, one fits. The other one, that one over there, I've tried doing exactly the same thing as I've tried doing here. And it didn't work. And I wish I'd pulled that out beforehand, so I knew that it didn't work. It's slightly different. It's the bend goes upwards instead of downwards. So I actually think it's this one here. You look here, I put a little bend inside of it. It's got a little bend in there just to start bending that end up, so it'll go up and over the casing. That one's dead flat all the way around. Then this one that I've put on bike, I've dropped it down, followed that bend, and then flicked it in. That pipe on the other side's too high, so it won't. Well, it weren't, because I did drive that pipe back upwards, so it would go into there. But because where I want my collar to be, smack bang in the middle, I've had to trim that pipe back off, trim the other pipe off, and this is where I've mucked up both pipes. And then it's took the rise out of that pipe. It's just dropped it onto the bit where the bend were flowing round. It would have fit if the collar were on the other side of the bike. So yeah, that's what I've got. It's sat down here. If you look, it's not going in. Whereas before, it would have gone like, because I need a bit of a gap between the 2 pipes. It's just the angle's not nice. Like I say, I could get that to fit. I could just weld that straight in there now, but the angle's not quite right. It's just like that's kicking in there as well. And this one, where I think where my problem is that if you look at them fins there, they're going that way. That pipe's driving off that way, so I might just try and bring it back and run it across that bit there. Which I think I was trying to avoid on the last bike, because the last bike had cables coming out of these 2 holes, so that's why I've gone right round front of the casing, because that's what my other 2 sample pipes do as well. They run right round front of the casing. Basically, to the guy on Facebook, let me get my face back on. We'll have a chat. To the guy on Facebook, sometimes, a lot of the times, that scrap on the floor. I'll show you the scrap. Let's have a look at the scrap. That's all my scrap in it. Tell you something, some of them bends down there, I know for a fact, them ones there, they rippled a bit on inside when I was bending them on manual bender. They're from 2 years ago, I think, and definitely last year. They've been sat there for that long. That one there, rusty, look how rusty that one is. That's probably been sat there for 3 or 4 years, that one, just upside of there. And then this is my scrap bin. My scrap bin gets emptied once a year. So that's my stuff pipe off that Vincent, I think. And there's some more bits of bends down there. There's not actually many bends in there, is there? Because if I muck up a bend, I put it down there. Just in case I need a little bit out of it when I'm doing a job. If I'm doing a test bend, so there'll be... Some of these will just be angles, where I've just had to go at an angle. That one there, say. I bent an angle on a pipe. Put a collar in it there. Put the next pipe on the top. And then I've sussed out how much drop backwards and forwards so I can work out a triumph pipe or something along them lines. And I just put that back in there because I might need it again one day. And if not, well, once it gets to like that, that's an horrible bit of pipe, that. Once it gets to that kind of state and they're going proper rusty, might whiz it in the bin. Might whiz it in the bin when I start running out of space. And I think, right, I need to clear some space. They've all been sat on the floor. There's one down there that's horrible. That one. Couldn't use that as a pipe, I don't think. But some of them bends, yeah, I'll still be able to use that one I've just shown you. So, yeah, they're not scrap. They're just in storage. Scrapping away, but, yeah, not scrap. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. These pipes on the floor, I might use them on a different bike. So... If I could make one full set out of them, and I've got the bike in, and I know there's another guy somewhere else that wants a set of pipes, I just say, do you want me to send you these bends and you can make a pipe out of it? Because I won't have his bike to make them on. This bike I want to get rid of as soon as possible so that I can fit another bike in. But I've got some bends there that I know fit because I've had a look at them on bike and they're near enough there. They just want tweaking. Well, if you're a welder, fancy TIG welder kind of thing, you can make a good job out of them pipes I've got, but I still don't think I've got enough there. I've got my good set, which I don't want to get rid of because I'll use that again as a sample. I just stick them upstairs with BMW written on. Yeah, so I don't want to get rid of them. But if I have a set left out of this once which I won't, because the right pipe's dead easy to do. So it's a struggle. I've got one other right pipe, and that's my sample pipe. So I'd have to make another right pipe to make another set out of my scrap pipes. But it might do, one day it might do. At the moment though, it's just all about banging out bikes, making some money. So yeah, so I'm going to shut my mouth up. I'm going to go and get my gas torch out and film it, but people slag me off because everyone's just used to mandrel benders, aren't they? I think that's what it is. Some guy said, "Oh shit," and I was what? Because I didn't press a button. So yeah, I'll go and crack on. I'm try and get my head in a clear space. Hangover's definitely gone now. So we're back on form. Just got to go and stop chatting shit. Go and have a right good look at them. Getting back in front again, because obviously I'm like half a day behind again now. When I thought, or a flipping half a day in front. So we're back at stage 0. So yeah, I'm going to crack on, do a bit of flipping high-speed work again here now. Try and bail myself out, fingers crossed. You're probably getting a fair good view of this from me YouTube, that it's a lot of it not going right first time, innit? I'd say that Grumph went right first time though, didn't it? So you win some, you lose some. The OK would have gone alright first time. The Dominator on my YouTube would have gone alright first time. That Vincent obviously were rock hard, not right on the first time. But only one pipe out of 2 wrong. And then the Grumph, right first time. I've used the first 2 pipes to do that. This one's 50% right, innit? Yeah, that right hand pipe's right, the left hand pipe's wrong. So I'll just go and bend another left pipe and see if we can get that to fit. I'll be back soon. If I can suss out the camera off. Right guys, I've redeemed myself. Got some pipes on. I don't know why we're talking about them. I come in. Right guys, I've redeemed myself. I've got some actual pipes on the bike, so it just took me another half a day. Pack some pipes with sand, get a blowtorch out, rebend them. There were a point I just bent the left-hand pipe to start off with, and then I emptied sand out of that one, put it on, and I could have used one of my old collection of pipes that I was just showing you, but it was still a little bit iffy, so I just thought I'll just rebend it And I do know now why I've got so many sample pipes. I've got 4 left-hand pipes, a right-hand pipe, no, a crossover pipe, say, and then a genuine actual right-hand pipe. It's because if you're a little bit out on that left-hand pipe, it makes a big difference. And then it actually all depends on the right-hand pipe. It's a bit like when I'm doing the greaves. You do a crossover pipe, if you move it in a bit, it all goes all over the show. But the main one with that right-hand pipe, because it's flopped over, the more you flop it over, the lower it gets. So when it's stood up straight, it's there, and then when you flop it over, it's dead low. And then you need to get that one in position first before you can suss out the height for the crossover. I'll show you now. This is what it's looking like. So I've actually got a set of pipes, just sent them to customer. He's happy. He lives about an hour away, I think, so he's going to come over on his bike, and we're going to talk about how we're going to do silencers. So that's just going to get put away again now. I'm going to have a look. After I've done some eBay orders, I'm probably going to do a full swap round. He's actually going to come and pick this up on Friday, so I'll just have a look at the pipes on that GSXR, but not make a big start on it. But Monday I might start on that GSXR. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. And yeah, one of my problems here is, you see this pipe, this flop over pipe. What's dictating how far that flops over is that frame rail there. If I chop a bit off the head, so if I move that in a bit more, then it flops over a bit more, because that bend will be a bit further across. It'll allow me to move it in a little tiny bit, and then it will drop a little bit lower. And the sweep of this pipe will have to drop down more, because I have dropped it down. So only a few mil, probably like 5 mil or so, just to get it to sit on there. It dictates that gap. So like I say, I had them samples over there. I've got one tailpipe here. I've got 2 tailpipes actually. I'll call that a tailpipe or a crossover pipe. I've got 2 of them from my last batch, which one of them's marked up as good. And that one's a good one, that one's a good one. This one here I've just been using to work out what I need to do with that pipe. So I've done a little bit of altering to it. Then I've got these 4 left-hand pipes. Obviously one of them's reasonably good. One of them's the one I've just mucked up. 2 of them are ones I've cut too short in the past, I think. Yeah, and if you don't get the angle right on them, so where they're coming upwards towards us, them 4 holes, if you don't get that bang on right, then it throws it all off, throws it well off. So yeah, so I did, like I say, when I started, I just bent that one, and I thought, oh, that's a lot better. Do you know why it's a lot better? Because like I were aiming for, it's in line with these, you know, see how the fins are going that way? Hold on, handlebar's got it where then? Well, the pipe's running in the same direction as them. And it's nice, and it comes out nice and tight, goes in there against the frame nice and tight. There's a little bit of a gap there somewhere, and then it hooking around it, nice. There's actually not much of a gap underneath it neither. You see there's just a bit of daylight coming through it. So obviously if I lean that out to make a different gap here, then I get a different gap there, and it's also pointing upwards. So you have to be able to suss out the angle of that, and then the flop over the top. And obviously the more angle again, the lower it goes, the less angle, the higher it goes. If I could lean that over a bit more, then it'd be pointing downwards on the top of the engine. So all that's, yeah, it relies on how much you bent this. Because I've bent that and then bent it back, like put a twist in it over the top. You don't quite get that right, it touches on here and throws all that top end off completely. So that was problem number 1, but that fit nicely, that pipe. It's like I said, just wrapping over the top. So then I had a play about with them, this crossover pipe that's coming across the top there. I had a play with the ones I've got, because I thought if I can use the worst one of them, not my sample one, then it gets me out of trouble. But it was just a little tiny bit off again. This gap won't come together, basically. That's a 3mm packer, you see sticking out there, and I wanted it to be 3mm all the way along, and I just couldn't get it with that other pipe. It was like 4mm or 5mm. It would just kept on tipping up, tipping down. So now I've got like a nice perfect gap all the way along there till it gets to the end of this bend, and it's just going up ever so slightly. but only ever so slightly, and then whipping over the top again. So that's almost, it's not what I was planning, but they're still pretty much perfect again. I like the way now this triangle's still small. That's here, that's what we're aiming for. I were going to drop it down and go through that gap there. That was my original plan, weren't it? Drop it round, go round front of the engine, come out there at an angle, but it just weren't working. So yeah, like I say, customers happy with the way that they are, so we'll just go with that. I'm happy with the way that they are. Don't know what they look like compared to the last ones I did, but that's a set done. So yeah, now we need to suss out now is how we're going to bend it round there like that, through that gap. At the moment they're just running dead straight with engine, but they're crashing into the frame rail there, so they just want to bend through there, and then a silencer along here in between that wheel and the shocker. But yeah, he's going to fly over and have a chat with me about silencers, because I think he's had a few ideas. I think he probably wants to copy that Grumpf one, which I just put it on my face, I'll spin it back round. Grumpf one, that there, it's like it's an oval shape, just two pipes stacked on top of each other, and that long, I think he's going to want that, but like twice as long, probably like that long, because then it'll look a bit like the original ones did in the 70s. So yeah, for now, that's me done. That's me done. I'm going to go upstairs, do some meat bays, pack some parcels, speak to this guy again. And like I say, I might whip out another bike, but as soon as I get back onto this one, I'll pick up camera and we'll go from there, do some silencering.